I got it. Here we go. Letting all the people in. While I am letting the people in that are rolling in, one or two of you, let's hear something great that's happened in the last week. Bold related, not bold related. I don't care. Give me something good.
Yeah, send me
Oh, hey, Mark, you are not muted, my friend. Who's got something good to share? Come on, guys.
We do. Go ahead, Amber.
Yeah, go.
What? I don't know what I'm sharing.
How many signups we have?
Oh, we have 36.
Sweet. That's for one. That's your one market center, right? That's just your
Okay.
numbers. Yeah. That's fantastic. I love that.
We had a great team meeting. Amber created a wheel to give away prizes, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, the agents liked it, and we got donations of $100 gift cards, $1,200 giveaways actually is what we gave away at our team meetings. It was really good. Our vendors really came through.
That's fantastic. I love that so much. All right. Give me one more. Give me one more good thing. What happened in the last week?
Chiefs won.
Sweet. That's amazing. From down here, that doesn't mean anything. That must be super exciting for you, right? I love it. All right. Hey, so here's what I'd like to do. And Cynthia did a great job of starting us off. Some of you have had really strong growth weeks. And here's where we're at from my perspective. We still have all of this week, right? We have all of next week. We still have time here, and then we have a week after that. So I want us to what I see work, right, is that we continue to stay focused on full bold registrations, right? Where all of our locations are at different places, and then all of the market centers within are at different places. Here's what I know. We will do well if we continue to focus on getting full commitments from people. And if we don't like where the numbers are a week or two out from launch, then we can always change direction a little bit and go totally focused on first step and convert there. I don't think we're there yet. So what I would like to do is I'd like to hear from some people who are having successes, and I'd like for you to share what's working for you. Because I feel like we talk in big grand terms. Like I want some actual tangible, we did this, we got this result, right? So I'd love to hear, and I'm going to start by picking a little bit more with Cynthia. So those registrations, tell me, and here's why I'm asking to the rest of you, by the way, like, even if we've already done your bold team meeting, if you still have another team meeting before bold and you didn't do some of these things, you could still do that, right? Like, there's no rule to say that you can't have another meeting where you talk about bold. So tell us a little bit more about how that meeting went and why specifically you think it was successful.
Well, first, I think it's we're lucky enough to have launched bold a lot in this particular market center, and our team, our whole entire Ubaldini team. Amber is well versed in how to promote before. And I think it was the excitement that we generated about you. First of all, it always helps to have an amazing bold coach that everybody wants to be in the room with you, Hudson. So that's exciting, right? So we're able to create FOMO around that opportunity. Also, it's the post on Facebook, look who's already signed up. We keep talking about selling out before first step, and then the preparation for the bold team meeting. So there was sponsors to participate with, not scholarships, but prizes. Yeah. Prizes. Some of those prizes are coaching, with Nikki Ubaldini, with Howard Weinstein, opportunities that not everyone has. And then it was, the whole meeting was focused around bold, right? We had the panel of our top agents who've taken bold and who are taking it again. Both of them are ALC members, so that certainly helps. Our next step is going to be videos with testimonials from folks who have taken bold, and send those out. And then it's also a list of recruits that we'd like to have in the room with us too. So I think it's just constant. It's the decoration in the market center and the training room. And it's, oh, and the team here, like I'm running a little contest for the leadership member who signs the most bold full step. I'm giving them $100. So
Okay.
it's excitement around that too, right? Just, who's gonna win the contest, just among ourselves.
I
So.
think there's another piece there too, and it's bringing bold into everything that we do. So every class that we're having, we're finding a way to relate it to bold and having registrations in the room. We have all of our registrants on the wall in our training room. Like Cynthia mentioned, they're all going on social media, but at any opportunity that we can mention bold where it leans in, I think that all of our leadership team is having conversations like that, which is helping.
I love that. Thank you, ladies. Anybody else who has had some movement and will share what is working for them? And it might be simple. I still want you to share it because I want everybody to have the same opportunity. I want great representation from all of the participating market centers in these 3 bowls. Who else has got something? Don't be shy.
Sorry.
Oh, let's go. Yeah, Maple Grove, go ahead. And then Howard will go right after. Go ahead.
So one of the things that worked really well, I lead a couple accountability groups. So I had some of my stuff to come into that accountability group, which is a smaller, it's about 8 people typically. The peer pressure there in that small group was great. And 7 of the 8 people are signed up for Bold because of that conversation. And one of the things that tied in for them is they wanted to be at a table together to continue to hold each other accountable outside of our accountability group. So that boosted our numbers pretty quickly.
And I want to tell you something, like, thank you for asking me to do it. That's the only reason it happened. I didn't chase them down and they didn't have to chase me either. They asked and I said, absolutely. And that's the same thing I'll do for you guys. So if you have accountability groups, PC coaching groups, large teams that want special attention, like, guys, I'm happy to do it. I will make it work. I will figure it out. I will Zoom from a corner of a bold room. Like, I don't have a problem doing that. So please let me be your leverage, because on our first call, when I told you that I wanted to be your partner, I meant it, and I can't do it unless you give me the opportunity, right? So Howard, go ahead.
Oh, what I was going to say was that we're in the process right now of doing Q4, like business plan checkups, if you will, as we approach Q4. So every one of those that I'm involved in, we discuss bold, the impact of bold. Every single response I send back on anybody's questionnaire regarding business planning or business moving forward, we include bold into that. You know what a proponent I am of it.
Oh yeah.
The other thing I was going to add, I don't know if it's the appropriate time, but the other thing I was going to ask about is we have risk aversion coming up in this week on Thursday, and then we have it again a couple weeks after that. So we have every single one of our licensed agents have, as you know, Hudson, have to be in that room. So I'm just wondering if we should be using that as an opportunity as well, since it's a cap. You can't get more of a
captive audience.
So that may be later in this call this morning, but I'm just bringing that to the forefront as well for my leaders on here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that any opportunity you're in front of agents, I think it's a good time to mention it. I think it's a good time to tie it together. And here's what I also would like to talk about this morning. I really want you guys to take a minute and like breathe and think about what the impact would look like if you did have a significant portion of your agent population in the room. If you have 2 or 3 agents or 5 agents, is it great for them? Yes. Will you feel good because you helped get them there? Totally. And I understand that. When you start to get 15 or 20% of your market center in a bold room, you see massive change in your actual numbers on a whole. And then here's the other thing to think about. You get a producing agent, somebody who's capper or better in that room. Are you going to make more money as a market center? Not necessarily. They were already a capper. Are they no longer a flight risk because they were immersed in the culture of the company? So therefore, do you get more time to pour into other agents or hire other agents to create more income for the market center? And I would say the answer is yes. Do you maybe encourage somebody to go from a solo agent to a team because they upped their business while they were in the room, and now you have an opportunity to bring more income into the market center? And then if you flip that and you look at non-capping agents, you get a non-capping agent into the room. Now you are tangibly, because they were there, earning more income for the market center because they were there. And so if you have a couple of them, no big deal. What if you had 10 or 15 people who weren't cappers that started to build company dollar? like that starts to directly affect your profit. That starts to directly affect, for most of us on this screen, your bonuses. And I really want you, because here's what I'm seeing, and I let me say it like this, because I love you all, and I do. Like, some market centers are having very little movement, and I don't think it's because you don't care, or you like, I don't have any judgment around it. My assumption when that happens, unless you tell me something differently, is that you don't see what's in it for you, therefore it's not getting a lot of your time. And I get it. Like, we have to take care of ourselves first. Like, I'm not mad about that. I really would love for you guys to understand that while on one side, every person you get in there, like, you're truly enriching their life. I mean, it's just, there's enough bold stories for you guys to, I would assume, agree with that. You start building your financial life better. You start getting paid more. You start having an OP that's happier with your performance because of what is happening. You start attracting more talent because this is also a major recruiting opportunity. And I know a few of you have taken advantage of the discounts. So I just want you to understand that there is value in this for you as well. When we have a good chunk of our people in this room, everything starts to feel better at the office. And I would imagine that some of you have had this experience before. I get to hear about it all the time, where literally just your culture is better, your energy is better, people are more plugged in because they were immersed. So the other thing that I want to make sure that you guys know about that just happened today is scholarship information has opened up. The scholarship applications have opened up, I should say. So MAP scholarships are available. If my assistant has not sent that information out yet, it will be coming out today. I want to make sure that you read the instructions thoroughly so that you could properly inform your agents about it. And I will give you the Cliff's Notes of how the scholarships work. So MAPS gives out half scholarships. The scholarships have been out long enough to know that when there's no skin in the game, it's really easy for agents to quit or not show up at a high level or miss half of the classes, right? So they give half scholarships. Now, if you ever have somebody in your market center that you know has like a dire need and they will play all in, I'm happy to strategize with you on how to make the other money up. Most people can afford half of the cost of Bold. They'll tell you they can't, and yet most people can, right? So it's a half scholarship. There's an application that they have to fill out. Someone from their leadership team has to write a letter of recommendation. It doesn't need to take you 20 minutes to do. It could be a quick letter. They have to attend step 1. So something really important to know is that even though they might not know if they're getting the scholarship, they must have been at step 1 to be eligible. And the last thing is they cannot already be registered. So like we've had people in the past that have put it on a credit card because they want to secure a seat, and then they get approved for a scholarship later. MAPS will not refund and rework it because the logic is, okay, well, it sounds like you don't need help if you were able to pay for the whole thing. So those are out. So anybody who's been talking to you about the financial need, that's a way to get them in. And I also want to make sure while we're talking about that, I couldn't afford my first Bold. I think that there's probably people on the screen that were in that boat at some point. I want you to understand, if you have somebody that needs to be in that room and they don't get approved for a MAP scholarship, you're just going to get them to step 1 of Bold. And as long as there are empty seats, I will find a way. We will raise money in the room. I will not let people not go to Bold over money. Right. So just please keep that in mind. Like, because if you're at a point where you can't spend $800 to change your life isn't changing until somebody steps up for you. So just know that. All right. So scholarships are available. Your agent body should know about that. They should be applying. MAPS is pretty generous with their yeses. It's not a guaranteed yes that they're going to get it. And yet we get way more approvals than we do denials throughout these. So are there any questions around the scholarships? Sweet. Those are great questions. Awesome job. All right. What about, so my next one, and do feel free to actually speak. Are any of you struggling with any particular objections? I'm going to ask this every week until we launch, because this is our time to flesh them out, to get ideas from other people, to get ideas from me. Are there any objections that you're struggling with? or that you're frustrated with and you just want to purge that out of your brain, that'll work too.
Listen, we, I don't know that we're struggling with anything, but I do
Okay.
want to, I just want to make a comment. The way that we as a leadership team approach Bold really matters. If we're excited, they're excited. If we show a sense of urgency, then they have a sense of urgency, right? If we know that this is going to be a game changer for so many people that have come off of a market where it hasn't been skill-based and now it is skill-based more and more and more, I think those are, I think us, it's up to the experienced leadership team to help our newer members with the right language and talking to an agent about an opportunity that will change their life and the lives of the people that they love. So not so much overcoming objections from, an agent's point, but teaching our newer leadership on how to have those conversations and build that excitement so that they do have FOMO. They want to be in that room. So it's just a comment.
No, I appreciate that. And I mean, so is there anybody on here that doesn't want me to hold your agents completely accountable when they're in Bold? It was going to be weird if I got a yes. I assume the answer was no. So I'm going to say what I'm going to say with absolute love. There's enough people on here that have known me long enough. They'll vouch for me. I promise. I care about what I do. I care about you and I care about your agents. Half of the people on this Zoom are doing other things right now. And I'm not saying it with judgment. I've sat in the leadership seat. I want to hug you all. It's tough to be in leadership in Keller Williams. You have 82 directions you're supposed to go in every individual hour of the day. It is wild, and I get it. And what Cynthia said is super true. And if you guys can't find any excitement around this Bold, it's going to be a struggle. Like it just is. And I don't want that for you. So I guess my question is, and honestly, like there's no judgment here. I won't allow it. If anybody gets mean and rude, I'll just kick them out of the Zoom. Does anybody have questions around Bold? Does anybody have their own limiting belief that they'd like to talk about right now? Because what I want to see wild numbers for every single market center involved, because I want you guys in the next 2 months, 3 months, 6 months to be blowing me up and saying how excited you are about the changes you've seen in your market center. What I don't want to hear is, ugh, this Bold sucked because we only had 2 people in there and nothing happened, right? I don't want to see that for you guys. So talk to me. How can I make sure that in the next 12 minutes, you all leave here with the right feelings, thoughts, and attitudes so that we can help change your agents and your lives? That's what we're here to do. Usually that much awkward silence will get someone speaking. I'm going to ask a different question. Who on here had a powerful experience in a Bold? I don't care if it was 15 years ago or if it was last year. Who in here has had a powerful experience with Bold that they're willing to share? And like Heidi version, like not like the entire 10-minute story, like a minute or so. Like, what did it do for you?
Sure. You have a great story.
Okay, I'll go. Since it seems to be Cynthia and me today, we're very loud and very talkative.
It's our show.
Yeah,
Never.
we're in the spotlight today. So I am, for those of you who don't know, the director of agent services in the Tampa Market Center. I've been here quite some time. The first time I took Bold, they do the breakdown to breakthrough moment, right? So I had done my ABA with our TL a few months prior, and we had a conversation about money, and she said to me, do you think you have negative programming around it? And I said, no, it's fine. I have enough. Everything's fine. And I went into Bold, and probably exactly sounded like that to her. And I went into the Bold room and I did the checkbook exercise. And I struggled. I sat there, I couldn't fill it in. I couldn't get past a certain dollar amount. And I got in the car and I was trying to tell my partner about it. And I just started ugly crying. Why can't I spend money? Why is this so hard for me? And I made my determination in that Bold that I was going to break that pattern and break that negative programming, because I didn't grow up with anything. My parents were very poor. And I did my journaling every day and I wrote to myself, I will take my grandmother on her bucket list vacation and I'm taking my mom too. And 6 months after Bold, I paid for my grandmother, my mom, and my sister to fly to Florida. I took them on a first class cruise. I did all the fun excursions, and that was almost 6 years ago. And at least once a month, my mother and my grandmother tell me that that's the best thing they've ever done in their life. And it changed it for them because they could never do it themselves. And Bold did that for me.
Well, in fairness, you did it for you, and I appreciate that. Like
That's true, but it brought the awareness that I don't know that anyone else could have given me without me physically seeing it in front of me, that I was unable to break out of that programming.
I thank you for sharing. Here's what I'd really like you all to hear. I promise you, there's agents in your market center that are really struggling, probably beyond they're just not selling enough houses. So are we talking to them? And by the way, are we having real conversations or, hey, how are you? Hey, by the way, this class is coming. And if that's how you're doing it, again, no, I don't want to, I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to inspire you to maybe think a little bit differently. Like, are we opening ourselves up to the people who trust us with their well-being? I'm going to give you I've told you my Bold story. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to share a story that has always stood out to me. And the agent's name is Missy Webb. Some of you probably know her. She's in Oklahoma City. She's been around a long time. Well, not that long, and yet kind of long. Anyway, she's a mega agent now. And yet when she took her first Bold, her and her husband were just getting started. And it really set them off to really set them up for a big business. And they built to mega within like 2 years. And if you do know them, you know that they are not your typical real estate agent. They're not your typical husband and wife team. Like, none of it makes sense on paper, and yet they've done so well. And she tells this story, and I actually have a video for it. I think it's in one of the correspondences we send out, that she's a runner. And so there's this one neighborhood in Oklahoma City, which is like the neighborhood, right? Like, that's where everybody goes that doesn't live there on Halloween, because they know they're going to get the full-size candy bars and stuff like that. And she would go there every morning, and she would do her run there because she just liked being there, right? So she would trespass because it was an HOA, and she would just go do her run there, and nobody ever kicked her out, and it was fine. And she wrote in her Bold letter, that was maybe her second or third Bold. She wrote in her Bold letter that, you know, she would be in a better house for her family, something very vague. Well, cut to a year later around Halloween time, she's passing out candy on her front porch, full-size bars. And she's just crying to these poor kids who think she's lost her mind because they bought a house in that neighborhood. And she and her husband grew up with nothing too. They bought, and it's not like they bought like a 10,000 square foot mansion either, but they bought their dream house in their dream neighborhood. And she's so cute. I have a picture of it somewhere because she was in her socks because she was cozy at home. She was in her Bold socks passing out candy to the people in her neighborhood. And it just completely changed her life. And so here's where, because nobody wanted to say what's up. And yet again, there's a lot of market centers where there's not a lot of movement. Like, I'm just going to say it one more time. I'm here to help you. All you got to do is call, text, email. I'm going to get back to you super quick. I'm going to get back to you if it's during Bold. I'll do it on a break. I'm not going to stop in the middle of class. Like, I'm level 10 committed to your Bolds. The people who show up are going to have an exceptional experience. I'm going to love them enough to care enough to hold them accountable. They're probably not going to like me every single day, and they'll be happy at the end. And I just need your help getting them in the room. We've had a few people on here who have had me talk to people that they felt were right at the tipping point and they couldn't get them over, and I've helped convert them. So there's one more thing you can do. If you've had 2 or 3 conversations with somebody and you know they should be there and they just won't convert, they feel special when the coach calls them. And that's not my ego. Like, they do. Like, they don't know I'm available, right? So here's what I want to do with the last few minutes of this call. And I'm going to ask, please, even if you're sitting there like, please don't make me speak. Here's what I want to hear. What are your personal ownership action items that you're going to take this week? I don't care what your role is. What are you going to do this week to help build this Bold, and more importantly, help change lives in the financial trajectory of the market center? Let's hear from as many people as can share in the next 5 minutes. What are you doing this week, friends?
one-on-one conversations with all the agents in our office and the big teams I want you in front of.
Perfect. All you got to do, connect, be direct with whoever their gatekeeper is, and we'll schedule stuff.
Perfect.
I love it. Thank you so much. And promise them, here's the other thing I want you to know, like, I'm happy to teach and then talk about bold. Now, if they only have 5 minutes, then I'll just talk about bold. I am happy to give value and then sell bold. It doesn't need to be all bold. What else?
We'd like to reach out and have you speak to at our team meeting, and then we'll also have some of our previous bold attendees talk at our team meetings.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let me know sooner rather than later when that is, so I can make it work, and we will make it work. That is amazing.
Great, I'll send an email right now with my team leader.
Okay, that's great. And I will tell you this, if you're going to have anybody speak about their bold story, your best bet is to only have people speak who are also taking this bold or willing to take the bold, because it just will kill if someone in the audience says, oh, so you're taking it this time, right? And they're like, oh, no, not this time. Like, it literally kills the momentum. Like, it's like a car wreck. So just amazing idea. Make sure you're having somebody who's willing or is already registered to take the bold.
We will for sure. Our ALC is all signed up, so we'll have them speak.
I like that about you. That's so great.
Thank you.
Ooh, side note on that, if you're like her and your ALC is all in, you could also incentivize them, and you don't have to spend the money. I guarantee if you go to a sponsor, they'll help you out. You could incentivize them to convert some people too, get the work off your plate. I'm big on that. I don't like doing anything. Somebody else do it. That's a joke, kind of. All right, what else? What you doing this week?
Well, to your point about it, finding a sponsor regarding the ALC, it just takes a little bit of proactiveness. Like, I think if said sponsor knows, like, hey, we're going to do this, have you as a special speaker at the next ALC meeting or whatever that is, I think if they see Hudson, the direct impact that it could have, they're more willing to, like, hey, I'll bring my checkbook and have an element of sponsor. If it's just kind of generic or ambiguous, then it becomes harder. Just speaking of past experience.
No, I love that. And then while we're talking about sponsors, like, do know that, and again, it's up to you if you want them in there or not. Like, lenders take bold all the time. Title reps take bold all the time. Home warranty people, inspectors, it's open to them as well. So, and if they're going to take it, they're more likely to sponsor some people as well, because they're going to be in the room getting the impact. So there's a thought. All right, we got time. Give me 1 or 2 more. What are we doing?
I'm reaching out to my megas or my top agents that are going and seeing if there's a guest they want to pay for in the market. And then obviously we'll cover it. And then just following up with people that have committed, just haven't signed up.
I love that. I was going to, yeah. And I know that this is a broken record moment. Too bad. If they tell you, if they tell you they're ready to sign up, do it right then. Like, literally just do it for them. I know it's annoying, and I know you have better things to do, and it's done, and you don't have to chase them. And that's not just to you, that's to everybody. Like, I'm an agent too, guys. We are so flaky. Like I said, with love, just do it for them. It'll be great. All right. Give me 1 more. Oh, come on.
I think just brainstorming with our leadership team about if we can get you connected with our teams and have you quote unquote do the heavy lifting for us. I think that will make a huge impact if they hear it directly from you as opposed to us, who they hear from all the time.
Well, I love that. And speaking to your teams, if there's like, if you have people on your staff that don't get bold, they don't know what it is, like, let me know. If you have a morning huddle, I'll jump on. If it's a time that I can pre-record a quick video. Like, literally whatever you need, please ask for it. Be needy. I have 6 kids. You can't possibly out-ask them. Just ask me. Like, I'm here to help you. Guys, I appreciate you participating today. I want you to hear this as we sign off here. I really do, at a high level, care about you and your market centers and your agents. I want all of us to succeed at a crazy high level and high five each other at Mega Camp and Family Reunion, because we're all crushing it, whether the rest of the world is or not. All right, let's go crush it. All right, I'll talk to you soon. I'm going to send out your goals for the week as well. Take care.
Thanks, Hudson.
Bye, friends.